still some cry along the way. Walking through the sadness for a world that needs to know love can take us higher. Reveal the way to greater love. Oh yeah. So the truth keeps telling me love's the only answer. And to all humanity, we can stay inspired. Reveal the way to greater love. So we let it wash over us. We let it make us kinder. We let it make us better. We let it be. We let it early in the morning. We let it hold us together. We let it now and forever. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the door wash over us. We let it be. We let May our hearts be open. 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 May our hearts be open.
Good morning and welcome to the Open Heart Spiritual Center, Heartstream. From our heart to yours, you are more than welcome. Let us just take a few minutes and turn within. Oh, sweet Spirit Divine that is within and around us all, we are grateful for the gift of this day. They're grateful for the knowing that the divine within all of us greets, honors, and acknowledges and celebrates the divine in everyone who is watching this program live and those who will be a part of the celebration later. We are grateful for this sacred space of Open Heart Spiritual Center and for this sacred time, this gathering where we can come together energetically and electronically. We are grateful for that all that happens following this prayer in the service, and we know that it is a blessed and a blessing. So we ask special blessing upon our ears, our hearts, and our divine mind as we hear the word and the message. And as we leave this sacred space, may we go out inspired, motivated, and shining our light for having been in this space. And so it is. Blessings.
Around, you can't seem to find that fire, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Mountains, we gon' walk it out. Mountain, and I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up, rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, rise like the waves. I'll rise up, getting hard to breathe, and you feel like dying, but I promise you we'll take the world to its feet and mountains, we'll take it to its feet and mountains. And I'll rise up, rise like a day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, rise unafraid. I'll rise up in spite of the pain. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other. We will rise, we will rise, we'll rise, I'll rise, you rise, we will rise. We'll rise up, rise like a day. We'll rise up, we'll rise unafraid. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. We'll rise up, rise like the waves. We'll rise up, we'll rise in the pain. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you.
What comes from the heart reaches the heart. Good morning and welcome to our Heartstream Live for this Sunday, August the 28th. We want to welcome each and every one of you. Also want to say a very happy birthday to our assistant minister, Reverend Villa Willis. Happy birthday, Villa. Thank you for all of the things that you do. May you enjoy your day. It's a special day, and may you do all of the things that you wish to do in this day and be in all the ways that you wish to be and enjoy another year, another rotation around the sun. I want to also greet each and every one of you. It's so great, as always, to have you here with us on our Heartstream. It's so great for all of the ways in which the people that have contributed today with the music, with the affirmative readings, with all of the ways in which you contribute to make this Heartstream possible. Thank you for your financial gifts, and we continue to know and remember those people on our prayer list and beyond. And I always do the greeting that we would do at Open Heart, and I continue it. I greet you, I bless you, I see God in you. Our purpose statement. Our purpose is to create a spiritual community which recognizes that there is one presence and one power in the universe, God. Daily, we actively practice this spiritual truth. We open our heart space to each person to acknowledge one another as expressions of God. It is in each other that we see God. Our daily affirmation for the month of August: an inspired life. I say yes to the divine ideas manifesting in my life now. I say yes to my highest good. I say yes to this thing called life. I say yes to me.
Hello, I am Aisha Battle, and the affirmative reading that I have selected for today is The Morning Prayer by Marianne Williamson. Dear God, I give this day to you. May my mind stay centered on the things of spirit. May I not be tempted to stray from love. As I begin this day, I open to receive you. Please enter where you already abide. May my mind and heart be pure and true, and may I not deviate from the things of goodness. May I see the love and innocence in all mankind. Behind the mask we all wear and the illusions of this worldly plane, I surrender to you my doings this day. I ask only that they serve you in the healing of the world. May I bring your love and goodness with me to give unto others wherever I go. May me, the person you would have me be. Direct my footsteps and show me what you would have me do. Make the world a safer, more beautiful place. Bless all your creatures. Heal us all and use me, dear Lord, that I might know the joy of being used by you. Amen.
Hey, 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 here come the announcements. Just a reminder for those that are in the New Thought Metaphysics Lab, see you Wednesday night, 6:30. We're having a lot of fun.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Just have a happy day. Today is a day like no other day. Just think and you'll know that it's true. Days like today should be holidays. So I'm singing this message to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Just have a happy day.
Our daily affirmative prayer call takes place each and every morning at 8 a.m. Central Time. Dial in as one of our prayer team members shares an inspirational reading and then prays for you, all in about 7 minutes. At Open Heart, we absolutely believe in the power of affirmative prayer, a dynamic way of representing and being the place for which the presence and the power of God shows up. We know that things are already done in the mind of God, and all of the individuals and families that you see here, we continue to know for you, your wholeness, your abundance, your well-being. We know your healing. We know your comfort. We know all of the things that you already have expressed desires and needs for and beyond. We continue to hold the space daily for each and every one of you. And we move beyond just this list to extend it to all who are part of the Open Heart family and beyond. We know how much our prayers indeed bring about those things that we wish to see, that our conversation, our prayer conversation, brings about our outward manifestation. And we see it happening now and here because it's already done in the mind of God. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am richly blessed, creating a greater and greater and greater flow. We have ways in which you can give and support Open Heart through Cash App. Our cash tag is OHSC901. You can go online to our website, OHSC901.com. Click on the word give and contribute there. Or you can text the word give to 615-422-4292. Infinite prosperity is mine to share. I am blessed, blessed, blessed. Thank you for your gifts. Have you signed up for Amazon Smile yet? It's an easy way to support Open Heart when you buy through Amazon. You'll find the same Amazon dashboard, your order and browsing history you currently use. Nothing changes except for the fact that a donation is made to Open Heart every time you make an eligible purchase. We receive 0.5% of your eligible contribution. We don't see what you buy. We don't know anything about this, so don't worry about that. But what you do purchase, the funds come to Open Heart, 0.5% of that purchase. You can even go and add the Amazon Smile extension to your Chrome browser if you use Chrome, so that you can do that. Or if you go to Amazon and you search Smile, smile.amazon.com, and search, look for Open Heart Community of Faith Ministries and Church. That was our official name when we signed up, and they make it really difficult to change it. So we're just going with it for now. But that is a way that you can support us, an easy way that you can support the things that we do for Open Heart and as Open Heart. I'm always grateful to those who provide an affirmative reading. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And this is your opportunity to submit a video to Jay Gilmore at openheartspiritual.org.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon, I could go to space.
right. One take. That's all. That's all. All right.
I release control and surrender to the flow of love that will heal me.
I welcome you to the centering moment. Let us spend a few minutes being mindful in this sacred space, mindful of our breath and mindful of our connection with the heart. We'll start that connection with the sound of the heart chakra bowl. And then let us take a mindful breath. And a mindful breath is being aware as the air fills our diaphragm and then our lungs, going in our nose, and then sending the air out. So let us breathe in and out. Let us breathe in and out. And let us breathe in and out. And in this space, let us be present, mindful, connecting with our heart space. And so
I say yes to me. Our theme this month has been an inspired life, and our daily affirmation has been, I say yes to the divine ideas manifesting in my life now. I say yes to my highest good. I say yes to this thing called life. I say yes to me. What I thought might be the most difficult part of this affirmation is the last line, I say yes to me. Difficult because it sounds selfish, and many of us have been taught that it's not good to be selfish. And I do believe that there's too much selfishness in the world today. When people put their self-interest ahead of everybody else and step on and crush and dehumanize and do all of the things that we are seeing taking place today, I do believe that that is not good for us, but that's also not what I'm talking about this morning. What I am getting at today is not selfishness at all, but it's about valuing yourself so much that you become self-aware, that you live life aware of the divine ideas manifesting through you. You live life from your highest good. You live this thing called life. But let me first address this before I move forward, because I know that it's going to come up. And the question is, what about others? What about others? I know many of us have been raised with the awareness of thinking about others. What about others? But I want to say that unless you are self-aware enough to be open to the divine ideas, to your highest good, to this thing called life, you really don't have anything to give another person. We can only give and do and help another person from a position of power. I know that we think oftentimes that if we can be in solidarity with another person and feel what they feel, and that is important, but if we are operating from a sense of weakness ourselves, then we will find ourselves unable to do what it is that we need to do to help. I know the teachers Abraham tell us all the time, you can't get sick enough to help a person who's sick, you can't get poor enough to help a person who's poor, you can't get whatever it else might be enough to do something for someone else. We do it from our position of power. We do it from our position of strength. I remember Octavia Butler's line, drowning people often die fighting their rescuers. And when we are attempting to help others, if we're not coming from a place of power, if we're not coming from a place of self-awareness, then it becomes difficult to do for others. So it's about self-awareness. It's being in that place where we can say yes to yourselves. I can say yes to me. So how do we do this? The first, and you will hear me say this all the time because it's true, about the things that we do. That is to notice what you're noticing. To notice what you're noticing. There are times when I look for something to watch on television that's entertaining and gives my mind a break and something else to focus on. And I've got to admit that right now there's a particular show that's called Married at First Sight. And the show is, when I first found out about it and watched it, I was really amazed. But the premise of the show is that there's some relationship experts who choose couples who are complete and absolute strangers to one another, and they do an experiment. They pair these people off to get married, and they go through a trial of 7 weeks to see what might happen there. And so they take the profiles of the people, they interview them, and then they match them on the basis of things that they think might work, the way that they think things might happen for them. And so they actually do go through a ceremony, but the first time the two see one another is when they show up for the ceremony, when they walk down and stand in front of the minister and they see one another. And then for those next 7 weeks, they have to try and find a way to make things work or either not work. And at the end of that period, then they have the option to say, I want to continue this process, I want to stay married, or I want to get a divorce. And one of the episodes that I was watching last night, as a matter of fact, it really had me laughing, because as the couples were talking with their friends about how they are adjusting to being married to that other person, the subject of toothpaste came up. Toothpaste, you might ask, what does toothpaste have to do with anything and have to do with relationship? Well, the idea that one of those persons was talking about that their spouse was squeezing toothpaste from the middle. And they are a person who squeezes, and as they were sharing with their friends, and they said, yeah, he squeezes from the middle. And one of her friends said, how can you deal with that? And, yeah, because I squeeze it from the bottom. And they went back and forth about all of that, how squeezing it from the middle or squeezing it from the bottom. And I laughed at myself, because I've actually seen that. I've actually had people that have come to me for relationship counseling, and one of the things they bring up about the other person is about they don't squeeze their toothpaste right. And so I want to ask, how many of you squeeze it from the center? And how many of you squeeze it from the end? And actually, which way are you supposed to do? Well, really, in reality, the idea and the object is to get toothpaste onto the brush, and it doesn't matter how you do it. I said it, I'm going to say it again. The object is to get the toothpaste onto the brush, and it doesn't matter how you do it. If you squeeze it from the bottom, if you squeeze it from the middle, if you squeeze it from the top. And if it does matter, it matters because we've created that in our minds. We've said to ourselves that this is the right way, this is the only way, and will only cause ourselves trouble. We will only find ourselves making a big deal out of something that ultimately doesn't completely exactly matter. Which takes me to my second point, and that is that we have to also learn how to accept what is. To accept what is. A lot of the suffering that we experience in life is because we don't accept what is. We automatically begin to tell stories about how things should be different without stopping in the moment to acknowledge what is. And let me be very clear. It doesn't mean that I'm saying that we resign ourselves to a life that we don't want, that we resign ourselves to things that are happening that are not for our highest good, that we resign ourselves to being stuck in places. But there are some things that we have to do in the moment. There are some things that we have to do for right now. We have to do them for this moment, to do them for the now. And we do them, and then we move through them, because the goal is to be at peace with it. And when we continue to argue about how it should be, about what someone should have done, what should have happened, what someone should have said, we're only bringing ourselves more pain, and we actually are stopping ourselves from being able to move on to where it is we really ought to be. I can remember years ago when I was on a trip with some friends. And when we arrived at the pickup point that was supposed to take us to our destination, and we'd made arrangements to be picked up at a certain time by a particular company. And when we got there, guess what? Yeah, no one was there. And as we stood there and I watched and I listened to my friends arguing back and forth about what should have happened and how they should have been better communicators and all of that, and kept going on and on about how this is just unacceptable and everything else. And I stood there for a moment and I realized that the more we stood there and argued and fussed and went over what should have happened, that it was just delaying us from getting where it was we were supposed to be. So I said, let's stop, let's regroup, let's reorganize. We didn't get picked up when we were supposed to by this particular company. So what can we do to make the pickup happen? We have to accept what is in the moment and then move on. Which brings me to the next point, to live fully in each moment. Because you see, accepting what it is leads us into the present moment. Most of the time, we are living in the past or we're worried about the future. Our conversations with others are not so much about listening to them as they are waiting for a chance to share our own experiences. Someone said that conversations are really about unfinished sentences. We just keep going and listening to them and then trying to match our story, a greater story, with the story that they've told, rather than completely listening. And what it does, it leaves us frazzled, it leaves us disconnected, it leaves us not really realizing and hearing what the other person is saying. And it leads us, when we don't live in the present moment, to be open to infinite possibilities, to be open to love. That to truly love another person, and when we are in conversation with them, that listening is an act of love. To live in the present moment brings us to a place where we become open to the divine ideas flowing through us. To be in the present moment helps us to understand that we can live from our highest good. Byron Katie reminds us, when you are in the present moment, you break the continuity of your story of past and future. Then true intelligence arises, and also love. The only way love can come into your life is not through form, but through that inner spaciousness that is presence, because love has no form. When we live in the present moment, things begin to happen. Helen Malakote says it like this: I was regretting the past and fearing the future. Suddenly Spirit was speaking, my name is I am. It paused. I waited. It continued. When you live in the past with its mistakes and regrets, it is hard. I am not there. My name is not I was. When you live in the future with its problems and fears, it is hard. I am not there. My name is not I will be. When you live in this moment, it is not hard. I am here. My name is I am. And finally, when we nurture your relationship with God, with Spirit, with Source, whatever it is you choose to call it, that each day constantly engaging in practices that honor your higher wisdom self. A daily practice is important. It's an important component of connecting. It's important. We talk about affirmative prayer, about meditation, about affirmations, and the like. We talk about them so often because they are important. They are essential and not to be taken for granted, but they are a valuable part of living a life where we nurture that relationship, where we come into the present moment, where we recognize and realize who we truly are and make that an expression of our lives and make that and set that as the intention for our lives and our days. Do you know what the face that most of us engage with more than any these days is? The face of our smartphones. The face of our smartphones. We find that we are so caught up in those today, and I know I'm guilty of it myself, but I think about going everywhere and doing everything that I do, and so much of it is connected to that phone. There was last semester in my class, I did an experiment one of the days of the class. I had been thinking about it and wondering how it executed, but I finally decided and found a way to do it. I put up on the screen in PowerPoint the instructions: do not consult any electronic devices, including your phone or your computer, until you receive further directions. So as the students came in, many of them looking at their phones, and as they sat down at their seat, I pointed to the screen to tell them, so that they could read the instructions. So they put their phones down. Some of them put them in their pockets or put them in their backpack or turned them over on their desk, and they sat there. And one of the really interesting things that happened as they were waiting for class to start, I saw and listened to students as they turned to one another and began conversations, as they started sharing details about themselves. There were two guys that had been sitting next to one another the entire semester, not realizing that they both were in the same major. One was a freshman, the other was an upperclassman, and they started talking about that particular major, and the upperclassman was sharing advice with the freshman about the teachers and about the things to do and the assignments and about how to get a good internship and all of that. And there were so many things that happened that in those few minutes before the class started that particular day, because people disengaged from their phones and engaged with one another. And being in that space and place where we become self-aware, and when we recognize what the true important aspects and dimensions and dynamics of life are, it puts us on another level. It leads us into another place. It puts us at this place where we can begin saying yes to me, yes to my creativity, yes to my awareness, yes to my loving, yes to my knowing, yes to my being fully alive, yes to my being in this space and place where this thing called life flows through me in ways that are wonderful and powerful and dynamic, that indeed make this a life that is abundant, a life that means so much to me. This is your day. This is your opportunity to say yes. I say yes to me. I say yes to more life. I say yes to God. I say yes to the universe. I say yes to me. And so it is.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, gotta let it go. Gotta let it all go. Are you listening? You got to let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I Yes, I